And welcome to the Daily Space Weather, folks. I be your host, smAsho, aka Dan. And please consider funding us, because the content is very tasty. And smashamash.org is good enough to eat. And the forum, thanks to all the new people at the forum. Let's look at the sun. By the way, happy summer, happy Father's Day, etc. Here's the sun in 304 angstroms. And we do see some activity here. I think there's a coronal mass ejection about to release. It could be Earth-facing. We'll have to keep an eye on it throughout the day. And when I say ion, the pun is intentional. So we got a bunch of filaments up here in the northeastern region. And there's something going on we'll show you by the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. And we're not going to talk cosmic rays. Here are the magnetic fields. And by the way, this is a backwards truncated edition for Sunday, the first day of summer. And there's all kinds of interesting stuff going on, so we can't monkey around too long. Anyway, there's the magnetic field diagram. And there's quite a few areas of field organization happening here. And again, there is some ejecta about to release, most likely. 0 sunspots. So there's the intensity gram, and you won't see any dark ombre on there. And again, welcome to summer. We're less than 12 hours in, and we're already streaming once again live to Twitch. So we'd like to stream on the Twitch platform because it's so good. And again, thanks to everybody who attended the solstice stream last night. Thanks to our subscribe stars, one-time donors on PayPal, as well as our patrons, the true source of funding for the content. And thanks for flying American Smashways. Please keep your head and arms inside the Smash plane at all times. Thanks, Smash Team, for sharing the content on your social media, etc. Let's get on to other stuff. Here's a water vapor map for the U.S. And again, we're going straight up backwards, folks. If you'd like all the links to my tabs, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, there's a water vapor map for the U.S., and I would note some very strong storms in this area moving into northern Oklahoma at this point. And this low that's been associated with our weather where I'm located in eastern Pennsylvania has finally moved out to sea off the coast of North Carolina now. Let's take a look at this area here, as it's where the strong storms are. And there could be some kind of the kind of storms that produce damaging wind and hail, possibly tornadic. And check out the streamers on that thing. Jeez. Look at the current streamers coming out there. Once again, perpendicular to the mode of motion of water as this thing tries to rotate counterclockwise. And it's getting compressed in between 2 bits of dry air, right here and here. And it's moving almost due south. So if you've been noticing some storms coming from odd directions, folks, that's what's going on. Next, looking at water vapor maps here for the Far East and Oceania. Check out the dry air over northern Australia as winter sets in. And here's the water vapor map for Europe and Africa. And there is indeed a bunch of dust out here in the central Atlantic. It's Saharan dust, folks. Next, we're looking at the Earth here. We're looking at the southern hemisphere. And this is the 10 hectopascal view. I just wanted to show people the counter rotation that happens in the high pressure winds. So these are the highest pressure winds, and you can see these counter rotating portions of the most upper level winds here, how different it is in wintertime versus summertime. And let's move into the normal view that we usually use, the flight level 25,000, aka the jet stream, or the bottom of the jet stream. And there's a reason why we use this flight level. I won't get into it, but there is the extreme meridional jet stream flow of the southern hemisphere. Here is the western world. And the northern hemisphere's jet stream is absolutely all over the place. I mean, that is an incoherent jet stream. Check it out. Wow. I mean, look at this air going straight toward the pole. other spots where it's moving due north and south in various directions, various locations. Here's the eastern world's jets. And let's move on. Here's the U.S. Doppler radar map, and again, we see some quite strong storms here in Kansas, northern Oklahoma, and this is going to stagnate a bit. All right, those don't look as tough as they did, but this could strengthen at any moment here as again, there's a lot of compression going on. These could be isolated, very strong storms. Very strong, compact storms. Anyway, there's the full U.S. Doppler radar map once again. And we see lots of lightning strikes. Check it out. It's, what do we have here? Hey, Pine Bluff. Hey, Memphis. It's thunder in Memphis. If you're in Memphis, step outside and look south. That's where the lightning's striking. And, yeah. Lightningmaps.org. Next time you hear thunder, check it out. It's quite interesting. Have you predicted thunder? I have. It's delightful. Next, looking at windy.com, and in order to truncate the coverage, we're going to show you where pressure cells are now, and we're going to show you where the GFS forecast expects them to be at 12 tomorrow. So there's where we expect things to be as things speed up here at the Smash Bunker. Check this out. We've got this meteorite has gone from a meteor to a meteorite in Rajasthan, India. So check it out. Man, oh man, would you like to be the proud recipient of that? Gifts from above, a lump of metal. So quite interesting, probably iron, and you could call it mithrite. By the way, check us out on social media if you haven't. We're all over it, such as here on Facebook. And again, thanks to everybody that attended the Solstice Stream 2020. We have uploaded the companion video from Twitch onto BitChute. So let me just take a moment to make sure everything's running normally here. All right, yes, the smAsho test pattern. Cheers. So yeah, make sure you check us out on BitChute. Leave us a nice comment. Leave us an evil comment, whatever you want. And thanks to everybody who's subscribed over there. Also subscribe on Twitch, because we do our live streams typically, especially for daily space weather videos over there at Twitch. Thanks to all of our affiliates in terms of production. Visit our links. Don't forget to press like and subscribe over on YouTube. Thanks to all of our new subscribers. Again, thanks to everybody who visited the Solstice stream. We streamed live to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, all at the same time. Also, we are on Instagram, and check out what's occurred. Somebody has registered for a race, and just like that, the bike racing drought ends. Now, my bike racing's not made in China. My bike racing is made right here in the good old US of A. You know, America! Heck yeah! Coming again to not say curse words at bike races, America! Heck yeah! Freedom is the only way. Terrorists, your game is through. 'Cause now it's not made in China. Thanks for posting on smashomash.com/forum, Katie Faye. Something went wrong with your post. It didn't display from, at least on this browser. Something went wrong with it there. So we figured you wouldn't mind if we uploaded it for you. So there, we uploaded it. What you're told paranoid people look like, and what paranoid people look like, and what makes you look paranoid is what makes you look at people in a paranoid fashion is also this. Because you're like, why are you wearing a mask? Are you the Taliban? Are you trying to, like, are you Antifa? Are you trying to hide your identity? Are you some kind of criminal on the FBI's most wanted list? Are you sick? Like, what's up with that? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, tinfoil hats, okay, that's real paranoid, I guess. But really, yeah, these are for surgical bays. And for people that, you know, are sick. They're not for healthy people. That's COVIDiotic. Again, thanks, Katie Faye, for putting up a meme that's clearly not made in China. China. By the way, America's not made in China. So no matter how many products we buy that are made in China, making America not suck again is up to you. So if you've got a bad situation, please don't make it worse. Try to make it better. Be a pillar of society instead of a gas can next to a series of lit matches, if you don't mind. Now, there's a lot of cringeworthy stuff that is made in China, and for some reason the Democrat Party seems to be made in China these days. Please leave a comment if you understand why Tom Steyer seems to always wear the same tie. He loves the red tartan, and I don't know what the heck is going on with that. Tom Steyer, you are crazy, and you do not understand atmospheric physics. Stay the heck away from climate science, you niblet. By the way, some people's brains seem to be made in China. You guess which Joe, yes. By the way, our test pattern here is definitely not made in China, as Cygnus A is clearly not made in China. It's 530 million light years away. It's a radio galaxy. I won't get into it. Please leave a comment if you know all about some things made in China, and please teach your friends and foes how to say China. Now, here's something I'd like to talk about briefly, Obama's coattails. See this? Now, I was going to make a meme that has Obama shirtless that says Obama's coattails. Maybe I'll still make that. It looks here like this is depicting Obama's coattails as actually worse than non-existent, as a bunch of donkeys are falling into perhaps a gateway to hell, or maybe a fissure. Maybe a fissure has opened to a pool of hot liquid magma. But the point is, Obama ain't got no coattails. Cheers. Next, looking at volcanoes. What's erupting? Well, Mount Ibu is. It's producing a 6,000-foot plume of ash. Mount Merapi also, 20,000-foot level of ash there. That is an uptick at Merapi, I believe. Dacono exploding, flight level 6,000 there. Sangay exploding. No, but I stand corrected. Sangay, volcanic ash not observed. So we can neither affirm nor deny whether Sangay is currently erupting. Revenador, volcanic ash not observed, so same scenario there, and Sabancaya is exploding, producing a 24,000-foot ash plume. Please don't attempt to walk a tightrope over the caldera. Did you hear about the guy that did it? We covered it. A guy really walked a tightrope over a caldera. It was insane. He had to wear a respirator. And you know what? He probably knows how to use personal protective equipment, unlike most civilian nabs walking around with masks on like complete COVIDiots. Let's get back to seismic activity. And there is quite a bit of seismic activity here. Largest quake of the past 24 is a 5.7, I think. Let's scroll up the list. Deep quake at Fiji. It's a 4.5 at 469 kilometers. There's a 5.4 at Iceland. That's got to be close to the largest of the past 24. Central Mid-Atlantic Ridge. There you go. 5.7 at Iceland. And shout out to Diamond at Oppenheimer Ranch Project. If you want to do a Diamond Anvil Too Hard to Smash video today, hit me up. Tell me a time, and we'll see what we can do. 4.8 at Vanuatu. That's a deep quake. 131 kilometers. Another deep quake at Fiji. 595 kilometers for that 4.5 magnitude. And here's an oddball of 4.2 in Perry, Oklahoma. Oh, as well as a shallow quake at Hawaii. So check it out. It's a bit of a seismic uptick here, folks. This is a pretty big quake to be considered a frac quake. I don't know really anything about it. But anyway, very close to Perry. Please leave a comment if you felt that quake down there in Oklahoma. That's a significant one. Looks like it might have even been felt in the northern outskirts of Oklahoma City there. So again, that's a 4.2 in Perry, Oklahoma. Here's a deep quake at Japan. It's a 4.4 magnitude at over 300 kilometers depth. Here's an ultra shallow quake. One at Yucca Valley, but first one at Hawaii. So this one is at a depth of 1,500 meters above sea level. And guess what? It's directly under some of Mauna Loa's smallest caldera. So there you can see Mauna Loa's largest caldera. And then over here, it's basically right underneath that one, 1,500 meters above sea level. And last but not least, here's a 2.9 in Yucca Valley, California. And, oh, I thought that was, yeah, that one's 300 meters above sea level. And at least this one's not in the ocean, as we've actually reported quakes out in the ocean above sea level. I don't know how that one works, but check it out. That was a populated area there, it looks like. Homestead Valley. Shout out to Homestead Valley. Did you feel that quake? Leave a comment. Did you not feel it? Leave a comment anyway. Here's the ionosphere. It's 6 hours of data, and this thing is wobbly. This is wobbly, and it's anomalous on the daytime side and the nighttime side. There's the most current image. It's at 9 o'clock UT, and look how discharged it is on the daytime side. We're only up to 7 megahertz, and pretty charged on the nighttime side. So it's an anomalous ionosphere all day. Next, looking at the total electron content forecast, and this one is pretty low levels of electron flux once again, and we're seeing anomalies over the central Atlantic Ocean. So there you can see those anomalies over the central Atlantic and the easternmost Caribbean, it looks like. And before that, looking at some anomalies over the Pacific there off the coast of Baja. There's the electron flux data. And we came up off the floor a little bit, but we stayed pretty much cratered at the bottom of the range here. Almost too low to measure by the GOES 16. GOES 15 remains offline, it looks like. And there's the relativistic electron flux over the past year or so. Next, looking at the GONG 2 data. Here's the top view ecliptic plane field plot. The data's roughly 2 hours old here, and the Earth is quite solidly in the South Pole current sheet shown here in red. North Pole current sheet shown in blue. Next, we're looking at the line of sight field plot. Please pardon me while I load this. And there's a line of sight field plot. Nothing really too extraordinary going on there. The B field shown here in blue is quite symmetrical. There's the GOES magnetometer, and it's a little bit smoother than it had been. And again, we are solidly in the South Pole current sheet, so we're not expecting to see that change anytime soon, as there's not a lot of solar activity. And the radio flux is down to 68. Here's the geospace magnetosphere movie of ground magnetic perturbations. During this backward edition, where we behave in a stilted fashion, and we've extinguished the fire behind us for Father's Day because we don't want your dad to have to go out and fight a fire. We'd prefer him to, like, grill a steak and drink a beer. Cheers. Anyway, there's 4 hours of data, courtesy University of Michigan. During this polar excursion. It's an excursion into absorbing cosmic rays into your brain and evolving in a good way instead of a stupid, idiotic way. Next, looking at the pressure here, magnetohydrodynamic pressure, and it's very low, just like solar activity. We've got some quite anomalous plasma spheres here. You see this empty space? That's where the plasma is located. It's held in place by Van Allen belts, and we've got an odd assortment of Van Allen belts here, really, as the whole thing is pretty anomalous all the way down to the ionosphere level. Perhaps a good time to be prepared for things like large earthquakes, really. Next, looking at the real-time solar wind, and we see a phi angle just shifting into the 180-degree range here. So that looks like a coronal hole magnetic connection just established while we started the video. And yeah, once again, is it live or is it Memorex? We are streaming live to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/smAsho. So anyway, there's the current state of affairs. We did see some shifts in the phi angle here throughout the past 24, as well as some significant shifts in the BT/BZ, but not real big values there. The density has been steadily rising here over the past, say, 10 hours. And it's only made it up to 8.7 protons per cubic centimeter where it is now, and the solar wind speed quite low at 308 kilometers per second. So that's this could be another small bit of a coronal hole wind stream kicking in here as we see the speed having dropped off, and now the density is kind of coming back up again. So this could be another probably a small, weak coronal hole wind stream, as we didn't see real strong coronal holes recently. We're going to skip cosmic rays and transients today. Here's the KP index. Steadily at 1 over the past 24 plus hours. And welcome to the cosmology segment. There is no cosmology segment today. We've truncated the stuff, although there's an interesting story about magnetic fields in Sagittarius A star, which we may cover later. So if you get up before dawn, you should be able to see an interesting array of objects up there. The moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. It's a good time to be viewing things. And there was an annular eclipse. Here's where things are in the solar system. There's where things will be in a week, God willing. Here's a ghost proton flux, and it's flatlined, no surprises there. And the 10.7 centimeter radial flux, again, is at 68 solar flux units. And we really like this new setup here, actually. It was a good idea for the Space Weather Prediction Center to mothball that old 10.7 centimeter radial flux graphic. It's all on the Space Weather Enthusiast dashboard now. You've got the LASCO, you've got Visible, which shows sunspots very nicely. So there you go. There's the 10.7 centimeter radial flux. And I would note that it is not as flatlined as it was at the last solar minimum. There you go. You can see it was a little bit pegged a bit lower here as we had smooth monthly values all the way down to 68. So, you know, the last solar cycle, the last solar minimum was deeper than the current one. Deal with it. Here's a nice image out of Israel of the annular eclipse as the moon passes between the Earth and the Sun. X-ray flux, we don't see any significant X-ray flares there. And again, there's no sunspots or any sort of significant activity. Here are the fields. You can see there's not a whole lot of organization going on there. Here's 304 angstroms. So despite the lack of organization, there is a coronal mass ejection, probably about to release. It could be a little bit Earth-facing. It doesn't look super big or extreme, but it could be fixing to release at any moment. And we'll show you that in a minute. There's the fade between 171 and 304 angstroms on helioviewer.org. Next to 131 angstroms, it's a 48-hour view. And you can see a little bit of stuff going on here in the center of the disk, but there's no real evidence of anything real substantive. There's nothing of predictive value yet. It's a little bit too early to say what's going on. Next, here's the 171 angstroms view, my personal favorite. And I just wanted to show you this coronal mass ejection that could be building here. It certainly looks like it's about to blast off some ejecta, and the Earth is out in this direction from stereo A's perspective. So we're looking at stereo A. The coronagraph, similar to the C2 SOHO coronagraph. And you can see that sudden, it looks like certainly there's going to be somewhat of a release. Whether or not it'll be Earth-facing is anybody's guess. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the day. We'll probably make a second video later this afternoon regardless, in order to sort of take a look at that and share our findings with you, the viewer. So anyway, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Please check our playlists on YouTube, as there's some interesting content you may not have seen. Please visit our sites, as they're very tasty. You may get information that you wouldn't otherwise get. Thank you. So anyway, here's that 48-hour SDO video of the sun. Here's me vanishing. And wishing you a happy Father's Day. We hope your summer has been kicked off well. Cheers. We'll be coming out with more content soon. Remember, stare at the sun, don't drink, and if you do, don't drive. Welcome to the Neo-Renaissance, and may that solar wind be at your back.